abortions as non-essential, except in very limited cases, effectively banning access to the procedure during the pandemic. Federal judges have stopped the bans from going into effect in most of these states. However, on Tuesday, an appeals court ruled that Texas could reinstate its abortion ban. Joining me on the phone is New York Attorney General Tish, who's leading a coalition that's fighting to ensure women will continue to have access to safe abortions. Attorney General, why fight this fight in this moment?
Let me just say that on March 23rd, the governor of Texas issued this executive order banning abortion services unless the life of the mother was in jeopardy. The executive order sets forth criminal sanctions up to $1,000 and the imprisonment up to 180 days for individuals who violate this order. The lawsuit was filed by the Center for Reproductive Rights, Planned Parenthood, and the Lawyering Project in the District Court for the Western District of Texas. That judge issued a TRO basically stopping the ban. The next day, Texas appealed to the United States Court of Appeals in the Fifth Circuit, basically halting that decision and effectively reinstating the ban. Yesterday, I, along with 18 other states' attorney generals, we filed a brief in opposition to the state of Texas and in support of reproductive freedom and in support of women. The reason why is that these prohibitions basically hinder, they block the exercise of a woman's constitutional right to an abortion, which is enshrined in Roe versus Wade, 50 years. And there is no exception in Roe versus Wade for national disasters or national pandemics. It is a constitutional right. And the state of New York cannot use as a pretext that this is basically an attempt to conserve public health equipment or minimize the use of PPE, when everyone knows, most individuals know, that most abortions do not require PPE and are not performed in a hospital. They are usually performed in a doctor's office. And by blocking this critical service, some women, mostly women with means, will travel to other states, increasing the likelihood for community spread or furthering this transmission. And so this pandemic should not be used as an excuse to deny, restrict, limit, or block a woman's right to control her body. And let me also say that poor women who cannot travel will resort to back alleys. And so it's really critically important that Texas, as opposed to issuing this ban, that they join me and others to increase access to reproductive health by, again, accessing telehealth services and telehealth medicine, and also access to the medical abortion pills. That's what Texas and all of these other states should be doing.
I do want to ask you about that, Attorney General, because you have urged, along with other attorneys general, the FDA to allow women to access a prescription abortion drug by mail so they don't have to risk leaving their homes. What is the pushback that you've gotten from the FDA?
So I, again, joining, co-signing with a number of my colleagues across the country, we have asked the Federal and Drug Administration, as well as the Health and Hospital Services, to basically remove these designations, not to enforce and or to basically exercise their discretion in allowing for these abortion pills. They have to remove the designation known as the risk evaluation and mitigation strategy, which effectively blocks access to this abortion pill. The only way to access this pill is, one, an individual has to go to a clinic and the medicine has to be handed to you. Two, your health care provider has to be registered with the drug manufacturer. And three, you've got to go and obviously be consulted by a medical physician. All of this can happen online. We can utilize telehealth services. We do not have to risk we don't have to risk ourselves to this pandemic. We can just, again, get a prescription which can be sent to us electronically and take these prescriptions in our homes. These are safe and effective methods of abortion. Over 2 million women have used it It's a practice which is supported by the American College of Obstetricians and the American Medical Association and others. And so we are urging the federal government to recognize abortion and reproductive services as essential healthcare services to women and not block us, not get in the way, not treat us like second-class citizens, and again, not intrude or trespass on our fundamental right to reproductive services.
New York Attorney General Tish James, thank you so much. We'll be right back.